It's always the same thing.
You defrauded the
challenged
people
on a point.
Little Marco.
But you're not beating Hillary.
So
You're not beating Hillary.
Well, then if I can't beat her, you're really going to get killed, aren't you?
Jeb doesn't really believe I'm unhinged. He said that very simply because he has failed in this campaign. It's been a total disaster.
He was such a nice guy. And he said, oh, I'm never going to attack. But then his poll numbers tanked. That's why he's on the end.
I mean, it's a blast from the past. Former President Donald Trump during the Republican primaries in 2016. It is time for round two now as he looks to secure the GOP bid once more. This time around, though, the Republican National Committee announcing Milwaukee will host the first GOP presidential primary debate. Questions tonight already swirling. If former President Trump does not win, will he support the eventual GOP nominee? Well, News Nation's Emily Finn live for us in Milwaukee right now. Emily, what is the latest from the RNC tonight?
Natasha, good evening. The 2024 Republican National Convention is set to take place here at Fiserv Forum in downtown Milwaukee, so it's no surprise the GOP is looking to stay here in the heartland for the first primary debate as well. The RNC is still finalizing details, but at this point, we know former President Trump, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, and lesser-known Republican entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy will have a chance to face off here in August. Other potential candidates like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Senator Tim Scott, and former Vice President Mike Pence, just to name a few here, are also top prospects to join them. RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel saying today she expects every candidate to sign a formal agreement pledging to support the eventual nominee, despite former President Trump expressing some hesitancy earlier this month. Take a listen.
It would depend. I would give you the same answer I gave in 2016 during the debate. It would have to depend on who the nominee was.
So are you prepared to block the former president?
Well,
if he
signed it in 2016. He did. Everybody signed it in 2016.
But this is about the here and the now.
Yeah,
he didn't commit to it.
I think they're all going to sign it. I really do.
Now, News Nation reached out to President Trump's team today about that waiver. A Trump aide telling us, quote, President Trump will support the Republican nominee because it will be him. Clearly, that remains to be seen here, Natasha. And RNC spokesperson Danielle Alvarez doubling down today on the importance for candidates to rally behind the nominee.
It's really important that whoever our voters choose, because that is who is making this decision, whoever Republican voters choose as our GOP nominee, we will all stand behind that person and support them and make sure that we retire Joe Biden.
President Biden has not yet announced a formal re-election campaign, but another candidate, author and 2020 presidential hopeful Marianne Williamson, is throwing her hat in the ring, announcing last week she plans to challenge Biden for the Democratic nomination. This comes after some dramatic changes to the Democrats' primary schedule. Earlier this month, DNC officials met in Philadelphia, approving a new order for primary elections. They swapped out the traditional Iowa caucus for a primary election in South Carolina next February. And the Republicans' presidential debate here in Milwaukee is going to be the first of many. The RNC is looking at hosting an additional 10 to 12 debates leading up to the convention. We'll send it back to you, Natasha.
All right, Emily Finn live for us in Milwaukee.